Cyclone MMA.
What's up, guys? My name is Mason from Cyclone MMA, and today we're going to be talking about some Bellator. Bellator 277, it's happening this Saturday. You have two title fights. I'm going to talk about these fights. I'm going to preview them, and I'm going to give you my picks for these fights. We're going to start for the co-main. Okay, we're going to start there. You have Vadim Nemkov taking on Corey Anderson for the light heavyweight championship. This is the finale to the light heavyweight Grand Prix. And man, that's been a blast. In the Corey Anderson Bellator experiment has been going off super good. You know, he left the UFC after getting knocked out by Jan Blachowicz. He had some disagreements with what was going on in the UFC. He felt he wasn't being respected. He went over to Bellator. He's pitching a shutout. 3 fights, 3 TKO finishes. He has been to the third round, but he's gotten finishes in all 3 of his fights. His most recent coming to Ryan Bader, the champion in this division at one point in time, before Vadim Nemkov beat him. So, Corey Anderson is the type of fighter where he can always bring it. He can beat anyone on any given night. When he loses, it's because he gets caught and he gets knocked out. We've seen it with Jan Blachowicz. Where else? We've seen it with Ovin St. Preux, Jimmy Manuwa. That's how he loses his fights generally. He doesn't really lose decisions. Vadim Nemkov, on the other hand, is someone who can catch people and knock them out. He's very explosive. He's solid on the ground. He knows what he's doing there. And he's on a streak here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins in a row. And he's really starting to put it together on the ground as well. He's starting to get submission finishes, which is scary because we know on the feet that he's a beast. And he's not someone who's easy to catch and knock out. He's only been finished once in his career via knockout. Or in general, he hasn't been submitted. And he's only been knocked out once. And who knocked him out? None other than Jiří Procházka, who's fighting for the UFC title pretty soon here. So Vadim Nemkov is legit. Now, in terms of striking, I think Vadim Nemkov is the more explosive striker. I think he's the more technical striker. But Corey Anderson's got big power. And if he lands a shot, it will hurt Nemkov very bad. In terms of ground game, I think Corey Anderson has the better wrestling. Vadim Nemkov is an active grappler, and he can do his thing. But I think Anderson has the advantage there. Now, where Anderson doesn't get credit is submissions. He doesn't get submissions at all. Like, in his whole career, he hasn't had one single submission, so we can't expect him to beat Nemkov via submission. I just don't see that happening, but he could finish him on the ground with strikes. So, in terms of who's going to win this fight, I have Vadim Nemkov winning. I think he's a younger, more explosive fighter who's going to be able to not get hit with anything big. I think he's going to be able to get up off the ground if he gets taken down, and I think he's going to finish Corey Anderson in this fight. Moving on, we have another awesome fight. It's a rematch. AJ Mckee versus Pitbull. Patrcio Freire. So, the first one was a quick one. AJ Mckee just went right after Pitbull. No respect. Threw strikes, rocked him, and then got a guillotine finish. Just completely discredited the champ. Just made him look bad and just gave him no respect and just went after him. Now, Mckee is a fast starter, and if you watch Pitbull's fights, he's not a fast starter. So this could play in. I mean, it played in the first fight. Will this happen? Will Pitbull be able to start faster? Because if he's on the back foot right away and he has Mckee bullying him, Mckee will go for a finish, and we've seen that. But the thing about AJ Mckee is, he might get taken down by Pitbull. But the thing is, he's so active from his back. He's constantly, trying to set up submissions, throwing heavy elbows. He has a great bottom game. He can be on his back and still just throw powerful elbows. He's constantly busy on the back. Now you have Pitbull. Like I said, he's got to start fast. He's got the veteran experience. He's a dog, but he's getting a little older. I want to say he's 34, so he's not, old, but he's not a spring chicken like AJ Mckee at 27 years old, 29, something like that. Let's see if I can pull it up here. All right, I don't have it here, but it's something like that. But AJ Mckee, 27 years old, young. He's got a father who's in the sport. It's one of those things where I think it'll be a more interesting fight. I think Pitbull, in order to win this, he has to drag it out long, and he's got to use his veteran experience. He's got to drag it into the 4th or 5th round. I don't think AJ McKee's been to the 4th or 5th round in his career. I'm looking at his account right now and looking at his record. Looks like 3rd. I think he's been to a few, 15-minute decisions, but Patricio's been to the 4th and 5th round. He's been to those championship rounds. And I think in order to win this fight, he's got to bring it there and see if Mckee will break. I'm not saying Mckee will. I think Mckee is very well conditioned and can go that distance, but I think that gives Pitbull the best chance of winning. Now, I think this is going to be a great fight. I think it'll go longer than the first fight. I hope it does, because I want to see these two fight. But it's all really, in my eyes, it's a question of how great AJ McKee is. We know how great Pitbull is. I don't know how much he's going to level up, but I think McKee is going to be the one to level up. It's really up to Pitbull to come in with a different strategy and to just start faster. Who do I see winning this fight? I see AJ McKee getting it done and retaining the featherweight strap. I think he's going to be very, very good for Bellator. He already is, and I'm wondering if he'll ever jump ship and go to ONE FC or UFC and fight, different competition at a higher level. I'm not trying to crap on Bellator. I think they have a really solid bantamweight division. I think they have a solid light heavyweight division, but for McKee, I really want to see him against some of these elite featherweights, because he's just so talented, and I think this fight is going to decide just how talented he is. We already know he is super talented, but this can just break through that roof and really double down on it if he's able to finish Pitbull again. But that is my preview and predictions of Bellator 277. Who do you guys have winning these two fights? Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.
Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson.
Amanda. Duh.
Next, we got Artem Lobov. We're going to stick him right up at S tier. Just kidding.